Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today for North Dakota Shapes State Conference session on implementing the Health.Moves.Minds curriculum and Dear Pete program. My name is Joe Deutsch, and I am a professor at North Dakota State University. I'm a former North Dakota State President, your immediate past Central District President, and candidate for SHAPE Board of Directors. With me today, we have
I'm Megan McCullum. I teach in Robbinsdale area schools in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, and I am the Shape America Central District Director and the MinShape Webmaster.
Very cool. I am excited to work with you today, Megan. You're awesome.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, so rolling on into what is the Health.Moves.Minds curriculum, right? We've heard a lot about Health.Moves.Minds. It's a program that is a subsidiary of Shape America. A lot of you have had experiences with Jump Rope for Heart, Hoops for Heart in the past, and may still be working with them currently. At one time, Shape America and the American Heart Association were partners in those programs. That relationship has since ended, and both organizations have gone their separate ways. As I'm sure you've seen or heard, the American Heart Association has a program, and Shape America has the Health.Moves.Minds program. Their program is not simply just a fundraiser, but it is also a non-standalone, awesome curriculum called the Health.Moves.Minds curriculum. Health.Moves.Minds curriculum is accessible to all teachers, whether they're Shape America members or not, and whether or not they choose to participate in the fundraiser. So I'm excited today with Megan to show you how easy it is to get started, get involved, and find out all the great benefits that the Health.Moves.Minds program can bring to you and your students.
So some of the things that the Health.Moves.Minds curriculum focuses on is social emotional learning. That's a really big piece of what Health.Moves.Minds is. They talk a lot about empathy, kindness, being respectful, being self-aware, and kind of figuring out how to help your emotions and what to do if you're feeling certain emotions and you want to kind of control those a little bit better. They also offer newsletters. They have, they celebrate like the Random Acts of Kindness Week, and they put out different things that just happen to pop up, like World Kindness Day, and you get access to all of those different things if you register for Health.Moves.Minds.
Perfect. So on top of that, the curriculum, which we'll get into, and all the awesome extra stuff that centers around that social emotional learning and empathy focus that they'll send you through email and give you access to all these materials on their website, there's also the two fundraising options that you have to move forward with. As you remember, when you were probably doing other fundraisers in the past, you guys probably raised quite a bit of money. And towards the tail end, you did actually start to get some vouchers for equipment for maybe a couple $100. The really great thing about the fundraising option that Shape America has with the Health.Moves.Minds curriculum is that you actually have two different options for how you can raise funds and how you can get a return on your monies. Number one, schools could keep 50% of the money raised and go for matches with an additional 10%. So they would keep 60% of the money raised and go for gift cards for equipment. So if your school raises $10,000 and you choose the option that is what ends up being 60% return on your money, you get $6,000 and go for gift cards towards the purchase of new equipment for your school. So it ends up becoming a fundraiser specifically for physical education and specifically for your school. The other option that some people have, they really like that the raising money for a not-for-profit 501c3. They really believe that that's a part of the Health.Moves.Minds, the SEL, the empathy, compassion that they think is important. So oftentimes they'll pick a 501c3 or charitable of their own to work with. The nice thing about that is you get to pick anybody or anything that you want. So if you choose your PTA at your own school, if you choose, a local food bank in your city that is important to the community, you can pick them, and they will give 25% of the monies that you raised in cash to that charity. Okay, and the other 25% that you raise will come back to you in gift cards for Gopher. So using the same analogy of $10,000 that was raised, okay, they would send a $2,500 check to the charity of your choice, and you would get $2,500 in vouchers for physical education equipment for your school. And then every student who raises at least $25 will receive a Cool to Be Kind t-shirt. And they're really neat. They're multicolored. They've got Cool to Be Kind written through it. And so, that's an incentive for the kids to want to raise. And when they get their t-shirt, other kids will see the t-shirts and beyond. All monies raised will go to support health and physical education advocacy at the local, state, and national level. So everything that you don't keep will go to physical education, whether it's your state association, whether it's Shape America, for advocacy and everything. So at the end of the day, 100% of your money goes back to physical education.
That is awesome. Here is one of the features that they have if you choose to do the fundraising piece. They have a mobile app, so you can just go to your app store and look up Health.Moves.Minds, and you can get the mobile app that has different features. For me, most of the time, I use my phone for everything. It's a lot easier just to use it on the go, and I don't have to sit down at my desk where I sit all day during distance learning, and I can be anywhere. And if I get a donation, I can immediately send that person who sent me a donation a thank you. So I can send them a quick thank you email and just say, hey, thanks for your donation. You can share it out to your Facebook page. You can customize your page, your fundraising page as well for the school or for whatever program you are using it for. So you can add photos directly from your phone. You can add your story. You can change all of those things. And then you can also track the fundraising. So you can see how much of your goal or how much toward your goal you have raised. So that's a really awesome app that's really functional and helpful, that you can just kind of use it on the go and you don't have to sit down at your computer to use it.
That's crazy. I mean, everything at the end of the day is organized right there for you, and it's at your fingertips, so you can see what you guys have raised. And I mean, that's a big game changer. That's a new addition that's just been recently added, and I think is going to be a key piece to the success of this program. Excited to see that.
It's also really user friendly. So it shows you along the bottom, you can see the menu and you can see exactly where you're going. So it's not like you have to try to navigate it and figure it out. You can just go exactly, if you want to see who's donated to your page, you can click on donors, or you can look at your page and see if you want to update your picture, or maybe you want to send an email to someone and ask them for donations or thank them for their donations. You can see all of those right on that home screen there.
So the nice thing I see about this then, Megan, is it's kind of like if I'm a parent, I'm going to change shoes and be the parent of my son. So I'm seeing this app, this Fundraise in progress. I picked a goal for our family of what I thought that we could and should raise. And I see this button down here that says fundraise on Facebook. And so I can click that button and share this fundraiser right to Facebook. And it's going to communicate everything that's donated through that post that went out on Facebook is going to come right back in the app, and I'm going to know how much people have contributed. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, let's shift gears a little bit to the lessons, right? So we have the fundraising component, which is, to me, a great option for teachers. I mean, we don't get enough physical education equipment. We don't get the funding that we need. And so, do something about it yourself, right? Go out there, tell the kids that we're gonna do this fundraiser. It's gonna help physical education, not just locally, but across the nation at your state level and at the national level. But I mean, we're talking about a 50% return in equipment on whatever monies the kids choose to or end up raising through the fundraiser. Outside of that, we also have this curriculum. It's broken down into K-5. essentially elementary, and then 6-8 middle school, and then on into high school. But the lessons that are at each level are standalone, non-standalone lessons, of which anybody that wants to go access these can register for Health.Moves.Minds and go in and utilize these lessons and teach this compassion and empathy and mindfulness that students need to be learning about right now and controlling in their lives. So we're going to talk a little bit about what these lessons are. So first of all, we have the K-5 lessons. Currently, we have 4 standards-based physical education lessons for grades K2 and 3-5. And so you'll see when you download these lessons that it actually tells you specifically which national standards are being covered in physical education and health education. So there ends up being a total of 8 elementary lessons in there. Being mindful and being kind, grades K2, and then grades 3-5. And then each mini poster lists the skill cues or has the definition of a term taught within that being mindful, being kind physical education lesson. You can print these posters out and hang them in your gym and share them with other teachers in your school. So skill posters can include a better breathing, mindfulness, the mindful minutes. Some of you have heard about mindful minutes, where kids just stop and take a break and just clear their head and reassess where they're at for the day and come back, change gears. Muscle relaxation, respectful listening, okay? Not just talking, but listening, and respect, teaching kids about specifically respect at the K2 level or the 3-5 levels, and then what teamwork actually is and what it means to be a team player and work together and not just do your own thing or not be involved at all, but figure out where people's strengths lie and put people in a position to be successful in what they're interested in. And as I said, you oftentimes will get lessons suggested to you, and obviously you would have to then go out and create the resources, reproducibles, if you want to call them, that you would use to teach that lesson. These are already created for you. All you got to do is open up a PDF, hit file, print, and print these off, and you can laminate them and reuse them. You could share them with other people in the building. And these lessons are SEL-based lessons. So at the end of the day, a lot of these concepts can be used throughout the entire school and will benefit everyone and you as well if they are used throughout the school.
These are things I'm already using at home while I'm working and just need to take a minute to kind of reset. I use this stuff a lot.
Absolutely. And then we have again, with the 6 through 8, we have 4 standards-based physical education lessons and 4 skill-based health lessons. So, the physical education related ones are teach the concept, play a game that reinforces the concept. And then we have the health ones where we're taking care of the mind and the body and working on relationships. And again, that gives us a total of 8 lessons for that middle school level. And it's the empowered mind and body, which is physical education part, and then power through empowerment, which is the health education lessons portion of that. And then, like I said before, with the previous age level, each mini poster lists the skill cues and their definitions for the term taught within the empowerment body, physical education, and power through empowerment health lessons. You can print these posters out. We have analyzing influences, right? Influences, both coming in and being an influence, are really important to kids in that middle school age level. A lot of positive things can happen for and to kids during that age level, and a lot of horrible things can happen to and from those kids at that level if we don't recognize them and help people work through them. Better breathing, recognizing and promoting diversity, right? The more diversity we get in our lives, the more well-rounded we become and the more open-minded we become to everything. then it's empowerment, right? Helping kids believe they know what they need to know and to believe in themselves and be positive leaders. Equity, sending kind messages. Again, that mindful minute, and then mindful senses and mindfulness. I mean, really stopping and thinking instead of letting our emotions drive our behaviors and or our reactions. Having that self-talk that allows us to recognize, where we're at and be in control of our emotions and or our behaviors. And then muscle relaxation, right? The more emotionally charged we get, the tenser that our bodies get, and the more we become uncomfortable. And thus, if we can do some muscle relaxation, it takes our mind off of things and relaxes our bodies.
What's wrong? There we go. All right. Then we've got the grades 9 through 12 lessons. So again, they are just at the high school level. These are mini lessons, but they focus on combining the previously taught skills to make healthy decisions. And then they also learn how to select and apply the strategies to deal with stress and other complex emotions, how to be kinder and be more inclusive, and then just overall how to improve their emotional and physical health. It talks a lot about advocating. So they bring in advocacy into the 9 through 12 lessons. And so it talks about advocating for yourself, for your peers, and how that can affect the climate of not only your classroom, but the entire school. So if you have your entire school following these lessons and learning about how their behaviors and their actions impact their peers and their own education, it can change the climate of the school. The key message is that it's equally healthy to take care of your mind as it is your body. So it's important to note that the mini lessons may need to be adjusted by the teacher to accommodate any unique attributes and diversity of individual classes and students. So the main focuses of the 9 through 12 lessons is mindfulness and empowerment through advocacy.
I bet that's awesome too. The more you share that with the teachers and the people throughout the school, the more you have an opportunity for that to be influenced throughout every aspect of their life, and the more they're going to see value out of these things too, I think. Fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you're teaching this in your health and PE classes, if the students are carrying that with them to their other classes, their math, their science, their arts classes, it's going to make an impact on those classrooms and those teachers. And, the students maybe only have PE in 9th and 10th grade, and maybe they only have health in 10th grade. But if you're teaching them as they come into high school, they can carry these lessons through into 11th and 12th grade and make an impact at the entire school, at the entire high school level. So the mini posters for the high school levels include advocacy, better breathing, empowerment, mindful minute, mindfulness, muscle relaxation. Those were all pieces that we saw in the earlier grade levels, with the exception of advocacy, they added that. And then we've also added the relationship skills, responsible decision-making, self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness. So if you think about students at the high school level, that is a lot to them, is that respectfulness, relationship skills, being self-aware, right? At the high school level, they're going through all these hormones and changes, and they're very aware of themselves. And so teaching them how they can be aware of themselves, but also not make it detrimental as they're changing and they're growing, being able to manage themselves and be socially aware as well, right? So you're not the only one changing, but your peers are also changing, and making sure that you're still accepting of everyone at that high school level is really important.
So we've got the following materials are supplemental materials for all grades, okay? These include activity sheet template forms. So we've got lots of organizational tools for you out there to help with the Health.Moves.Minds resources. The whole idea of the Health.Moves.Minds Shape America for that matter is trying to implement things to you and not create more work for you, not create, an overwhelming amount of busy work that it's going to cause you to not utilize. They're trying to make it as easy as possible. Take the lessons, take the resources, and just incorporate it throughout your entire curriculum. Your curriculum is your curriculum. I don't care what age level you're at, you've already got your curriculum established, and nobody's asking you to abandon ship on your curriculum. What we're doing is offering 4 different lessons pretty much at each of the levels, that can be smattered in there throughout the year, and maybe done several times, but to just maybe that intro and fitness component of your lesson, but to just keep that positive mindset, the empathy, the kindness, the self-awareness, because right now where we're at, Megan just said she's 100% distance learning still. Some people in North Dakota have had 5 days a week since the beginning of the school year. Other people across the nation haven't been in school either. So, this is taking an emotional toll on kids across the nation. It has to. Human interaction tells us that we need to communicate with people. We need to interact with people, and when we don't get that, it causes us to second guess ourselves. It causes us to be concerned. So, using these type of skills, it helps kids to control themselves, control their environments in a positive fashion. We have an empowerment statement templates so they can use to empower kids to not only take initiative, but a positive initiative. Ideas of equitable group sheets, so ways that we can try to create more equity in groups, and a kindness challenge. So different fun things that we can do to try to we challenge somebody to do it. Kids sign off on it, and they make a commitment to trying to get there. List of accommodations and modifications that can be made to each of these lessons. Right, we all know that that depending on people's physical circumstances, there may be accommodations that need to be made for individual students or just individual schools based off of space. So a mind-body calendar. So each day of the month, there's different ideas that they have on there that you can do for just mindfulness things. Mindful pledge, and then the station cards template that you can kind of make up. It's a template that you can kind of make up your own stations in relation to the subject matter that you're working on, but still have that template of the traditional stations that they had for the Health.Moves.Minds.
Yeah, so you had talked about how you can incorporate this into your curriculum already, and I really like that, because I feel like a lot of what we do in the gym and in the health classroom is building those SEL skills and building relationships, but this is doing it with intention, right? So we're intentionally teaching these skills, and we're showing the students this is how you work through these different emotions and different things that you're feeling. So you might be really excited that you just won this game in the gym, and you might not be able to control yourself, and maybe you're taunting people, or you just don't really know how to react to that emotion. You're feeling an extreme emotion. And so this kind of stuff we can incorporate, and we can teach them, if you're feeling this way, here's how you can show that. Or if you're really upset that your team lost this game, here's how you can deal with that. Here's how you can deal with those frustrations. And you can still say, hey, you played a great game. You made some really great moves, and you outscored us. You did better, but next time maybe I'll learn some skills that you've done, and I can move on from there, and maybe next time I'll win. So I really like how intentional the lessons are that Health.Moves.Minds offers.
Yeah, just to follow one other quick thought, and I think the competition is important to bring the best out of all kids, but at the same time, competition is never the focus. and it's never my focus. And so I don't allow students, to taunt when they win, because the idea is that we're competing to bring out the best in both of us, but at no point whatsoever does that become more important than the development and or enjoyment of everybody that's involved. So yeah, I definitely find that balance is super important.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too if you watch the Super Bowl. There was was it Winfield? Yeah, taunting, and I mean, that kind of stuff, these kids see that and they think, oh, well, if this professional athlete can do that, why shouldn't I be able to do that? And so I think teaching them why it's important that they can't be doing those things, and how to deal with these emotions, and how to deal with these feelings that they have, and why they should be dealing with them in this way. So why should you be kind to others? I think that's a really,
and to follow it up a little bit more, and the rationale that they had was well, but he did it to him when he scored a touchdown on him, and that's his move, was to do it, so he was taunting him with his own move. But the point of the matter is we got to teach people that we control our own behaviors no matter what. And you know what, if somebody does a negative to us, we definitely don't retaliate. We're the bigger person, and we don't I mean, because we have the self-control to not play into that, because at the end of the day, feelings get hurt, games get shut down, positive things aren't happening. So I definitely agree and support you there.
All right, so since schools started doing distance learning in the spring, Shape America has come out with the Health.Moves.Minds at home. So they've got a virtual and distance learning resource guide, which has a lot of the lessons that they've already used, but how you can incorporate that at home. So if you're doing distance learning, or maybe you're hybrid and you've got students at school some days and at home other days, you can use this resource guide to still use the lessons that they have and cover that same content, but it's modified for at home. So they don't have every lesson and activity in the resource guide, because it could be that maybe it wasn't an appropriate virtual or distance learning lesson that they just couldn't adapt to be an at-home lesson. Another part that they've made, so they've got a lot of additional resources, and if you go to their website, you can find all of this stuff on there. They've got those mind and body calendars that Joe had mentioned. I know in Minnesota, we put those out when this spring, when we started doing distance learning, we tried to put together as many resources as we could find, and we used those because they were really great, and they had weekly activities and daily activities, and it kind of broke it down so that it followed the same steps each day. There's a family field day packet. So families, if they want to have a field day at home, it's got different activities that they can do and different ways that they can modify and make their own equipment. Self-care virtual race. So talking about how to take care of yourself while you're at home. They have a ready to go take home packet for secondary health and PE. So that could be just taking that home with them and they are ready to go. So if you're doing hybrid, maybe they're in school Monday, Tuesday, and then they're home the rest of the week, they can take that packet home with them and work on those things when they're at home. There's also the daily big 3, and that was more of a focus for elementary age. So it's 3 things students can do each day while they're out of school to take care of their mental and physical wellness. There's a field day packet. So if you decide as a school that you still want to have a field day, you can have the students take home that packet and they can do that at home. It's a slightly different than the family field day packet. And then there's some quick student challenges, some progressive muscle relaxation, and then there's some coloring sheets, color by mood activity worksheets. There's also a section at the very bottom of the Health.Moves.Minds at homepage that talks about the Random Acts of Kindness Week, which is February 14th through the 20th this week. So that's coming up.
It is. All right, so let's just kind of bring it all together. So, the SEL focused activities curriculum are not standalone again. And that's important because nobody's asking you to adopt a new curriculum again. I know that Everybody's asking you to adopt their new curriculum because it's the new best curriculum, and they want to sell it to you. I'm not selling you anything, and I'm not telling you that you got to replace your existing curriculum. We're adding a component to your curriculum already that adds in that SEL, that mindfulness, that empathy, and I think those are important things that need to be ingrained in everything that we're doing in the school systems, no matter what we're doing in this day and age. So you can incorporate them in your current curriculum as the introductory or fitness activities in your lessons. Examples of additional fundraising opportunities could include family fun nights. Okay, so you invite all the families in, and maybe you charge them something for the night, and all that money that's raised goes to Health.Moves.Minds. Maybe you get some donation items from the community, and you do a auction. Where people walk up, look at the item, put a dollar amount on it, and while they're there during those 2 hours while the auction's going on, there's different family fun activities going on around the gym. When it's all done and over with, all the monies that were raised from the auction items becomes your general fundraising money. Those are the type of fun, brain boost packs for the classroom. You can take some of those monies and create brain boost pack that include like cup stacking and fun things that kids can do in the classroom that they can do during brain boost times. That would be like a set of dice that they roll the dice out there, and how many comes up in the dice is how many jumping jacks they do in their spot, and their so just fun stuff that you could do. You can use those monies for that. Your fundraising could also be just as simple as having the individual parents of the students go in, register through your already existing account, and post it to social media and ask for donations. I kind of alluded to it a little bit before when I said to Megan, I'm like, okay, so if I'm a parent and that's my page on my phone, remember I said there's a little button down the bottom that says link it to Facebook, and it'll just link it to Facebook, and grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles and stuff can go and donate. And I'm just going to keep being able to look at my app and seeing the dollar amount increasing. She said, yeah. So, when I say they can go in on your page, and that sounds semi-complicated, right? Because you haven't been on the website, you haven't registered yet. So Megan, what do you think?
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
So we've got.
So Megan's got us pulled up here. We are at the shapeamerica.org. That's simple. www.shapeamerica.org. You hit the enter button, and voila, up comes the page we got in front of us. If you notice that there are tabs across the top, professional development, standards and guidelines, they're all in a similar blue fashion, but the one that's in red on the far right, that's your Health.Moves.Minds. That's their focal point right now. So we're clicking on the Health.Moves.Minds, and it takes us to the Health.Moves.Minds page, right? We've got the opportunity to get registered, because you're gonna need to register in order to access the curriculum, regardless of whether you're gonna participate in the fundraiser. So we'll go ahead and click on the register button. And now it takes us to a screen that has a couple different options: create a team, join a team, donate, or contact Shape America. Creating a team. So you're a public school teacher right now at a school. You know for a fact that your school isn't in there yet because you haven't because you haven't registered. So you're going to go to that button, and you see it says right there, team name, and you can make up a team name that fits you. You can make up something funny, or you could call it whatever it is. Fargo North Spartans, if that's what you wanted to do. And then you can set your fundraising goal. They say there that a suggested goal is $1,000. you know the situation that your school is in right now. If you're not in person and you're having a difficult time even visioning what a fundraiser would look like at your school right now, then maybe putting in a fundraising goal of 0 is what you need to put in, because at the end of the day, if you raise something, you're great. And if nothing else, you're going to get access to that curriculum. But if you've been in full-blown school all year round, you've previously done a fundraiser like, say, Jump Rope for Heart, and you opted not to do that this year, and you are ready to do Health.Moves.Minds, then go ahead and start with a fundraising goal of 1,000 or even more, if that's what you think. But we're going to go with the 0 because we want everybody to get in, get access to the curriculum. And so then you're going to establish who your captain is, which is the person who's going to receive the emails and all that good stuff. And you'll just keep moving your way through here. It's all pretty self-explanatory. We can't really keep progressing in here without creating a brand new school. But as you can see, there's no fee. The team captain's going to serve as the contact person and event coordinator for the school. So let's take a step back, Megan, and head back where we came from, and just go with the pre-existing program. So hit the back button up. Or you want to go back to, oh yeah, let's just go to register. Perfect. We're going back to the register button, and this time we're going to join a team because I know that that we've created our school already because NDSU has one, and we send the link out to parents that would be potentially interested in sharing this on their social media and allowing for the fundraising. So boom, she put NDSU in the team name up there, and it came up, and there was the line that said NDSU's Let's Move and Homeschool, and then she clicked on that, and now, like you said, you could join the team up there on that red button. This is the current team roster. Dr. Linker is the team leader. Is that what it is? Team manager. She was a team manager. She's one who gets the emails and whatever. That's why she's denoted with team captain with the blue star right there. I am a member. My different students that are all in my fitness education class right now are members, and our team progress goal is 1,000. So if you were a parent, that got to your school, you would have listed on there the different parents that were, registered or whatever to participate. And then if you go, then if you go back up to the join team there, red button, boom. And then this time you're going to be the team member fundraiser. What do you think you're going to try to be able to raise, and continue on from there and keep adding yourself through the process? So once you get in, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're already in and you're already a member, you can access the lessons right up there. You see the tab right up there. Yep, lessons, and start with the K5. So boom, there we go. And then you'll see originally that it says the materials are only accessible for registered schools. So you have to go in there and get yourself registered. But once you do, then you can go in there, and these are the links to click on those, similar to the way I showed them to you in the PowerPoint slide earlier. So.
And then if you go over here to the additional resources, this is where I was talking about, they've got a ton of resources for at home. So you can go through here and get access to all of these. It looks like you don't actually have to register for these. Let's see. Yeah. So there you go. Here's an example of
There's the calendars.
Calendars, yeah.
Yeah, and you can just you can download these calendars and send it out in an email to your entire school. It sends messages to parents that this is something that's important to you. It's important to the school. It sends a message that we're just not there to kick balls around. And there's a lot more to physical education, health education than, simply exercising and eating right.
Yeah. And then they've got some of the, excuse me, that self-care virtual race. They've got all the different resources here, that ready to go take home packet. Here was that big daily 3, so things that grades K through 5 could be working on when they are at home. And it's got a little log, so they just check off the boxes as they complete it. And you can go through, it looks like it's got 8 pages of different things that students can work through when they are at home.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of resources on the site for you to use. And like I said, it all comes from that SEL background for the most part. And so Shape America has done an amazing job of providing this for us. Like I said, it's available for you regardless of whether you choose to participate in the fundraiser or not. We would hope that you'd want to participate in the fundraiser if it's an option for you, because at the end of the day, you're getting 50 to 60% of the monies back to you in equipment for your school, and that's super awesome. Or a 25% cash check to a charity of your choice. So.
Yeah. And then down here, they've got the Random Acts of Kindness Week. I thought this was kind of cool. They've got like a virtual background with hearts or a virtual background with wings, since a lot of students and teachers are at home right now working through Google Meets or Zoom. And you can put in those different virtual backgrounds. They've also got, like Joe had said earlier in the presentation, if you want to use the program, it's really nice because they give you everything that you need. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to make everything new on your own. They've got the Google Slides version or PowerPoint version. They've got a PDF or a Word of this document for the secondary students practicing kindness. So they've got all these resources here. They've got them in Spanish and English as well, which is really helpful. So I really like all of the resources that they've got on here.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's all at your fingertips. It's all out there, and it's all, physical education, health education based, but it's all great resources for use out there. Just go out there, get registered, and just click around and check out all the amazing resources that they have out there to help you out if you need it. So can't get much more simple than that, can it, Megan?
No, it can't. No,
Yeah.
resources.
Well, if people have any questions, comments, concerns, or need any help with any of this, is there some place they can reach you that you'd be available?
Yeah, you can either go to the MinShape website. My contact information is on there, or my first name dot last name Megan.McCullum @minshape.org, or you could tweet at me or send me a tweet. I sound so old when I say it like that. Tweet at me. You can send me a message through Twitter at Meg22Mac.
Doesn't make you sound that old, because I wouldn't even have suggested tweeting at me, so that makes me sound even older. So, yeah, I'm available to help you out if you have any needs as well. Joe, Joe, period Deutsch, DEUTSCH @ndsu.edu, and you can also tweet at me too, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. So I'd send me an email. But anyway, Megan, it's been a pleasure to work together with you on this. I know both of us are extremely passionate about Health.Moves.Minds and Shape America. I think this is, Health.Moves.Minds is the future. The SEL and this curriculum is a lot to do with the future of children and of this world. And I think that the Health.Moves.Minds fundraiser is the future of Shape America and people's physical education equipment budgets. So all reasons to get out there, utilize the curriculum, utilize all those resources you had there, Random Acts Kindness Week, all that good stuff, that monthly calendars. So they had February on there. Next month's March is going to be on there. They update that immediately. So
Yeah. Well, thanks,
cool,
Joe.
cool. Well, it's been fun working with you. Anything else you got for the good of the order before we're out of here?
I don't have anything else.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We're super, super excited for you to get out and try Health.Moves.Minds curriculum and or fundraiser. shapeamerica.org, www.shapeamerica.org. Have a great day.
Bye.